everybody. Welcome to Coffee for Closers. Alex Wellings here, as always, and welcome to 2021. New year, joined in studio with Mr. Rick Kallmeyer. We're talking all about some of the new changes that have come up. By this point, you've already seen the new video that we put out just now with an update on the new changes coming in. But we're going to unpack some of that a little bit more. We're going to go deep dive into some of that. Mr. Rick Kallmeyer will be heading up a big portion of that transition, the actual team itself of the servicing staff. Mr. Rick Kallmeyer, congratulations on the new position, my friend.
Thank you.
And thanks for being on the show.
Always a pleasure to be here. Always a great time.
So obviously we want to unpack a little bit more, but maybe we'll talk a little bit at the beginning here about obviously what BI was doing, Brokers International was doing for our advisors, because our new advisors, our old guild, they might know what we're talking about when we're talking about Brokers International, but the new folks out there are probably just getting their beaks wet with the whole infrastructure over there. And now they're going to be maybe a little bit confused about what's happening. So let's talk a little bit about Brokers International, what they were doing and what they'll be doing now, because we're not leaving Brokers International. That's important to note. But we are going to be taking on a huge chunk or the majority of the responsibilities for our advisors' day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
So, Brokers International, why don't you tell them a little bit about what they were doing with...
Yeah, so they've been fantastic team members as well, like a second family, just helping out the agent staff and doing a lot of the past servicing work, business development, all those kind of things, helping advisors with illustrations, quotes, more complicated financial questions, all your different daily needs as an advisor, kind of going to brokers, getting those answers to it.
It's primarily like really the back office stuff, right? Yeah. Illustrations that maybe weren't pertaining particularly to the federal space or weren't particularly nuanced to, say, the Learning Labs call scripts, they were doing those types of things, running those illustrations, right?
Absolutely. Well, we're focusing on kind of the big picture. Niches, big picture, some of the specifics, having them as a phenomenal resource on the additional back end, our kind of back end, if you will.
Right.
So I absolutely agree with that.
And so BI is now going to be offering some comparison stuff, because another thing they were doing was obviously getting in touch with the carriers and knowing which apps were going to be having triggering some issues in suitability, which
business follow up.
Yeah, which apps might not get approved with inherited HRA, or the carrier might not take inherited IRAs. Sorry,
stretches,
stretch IRAs, stuff like that.
Yep.
There's all kinds of like little things that almost involved you single-handedly calling each carrier personally.
72 Ts, all that kind of fun stuff.
And those were the things back in the day that Megastar just was not equipped to do because of, we wanted to invest in the folks that were going to put butts in front of you. And we had that other resource at Brokers International to lean on for some of the, the minuscule back office stuff.
And same reason the advisor's not doing it themselves, because it's a lot of work and it's a lot of time.
It is.
You got to call 20 different carriers to figure out who does it, who doesn't do it, what their rules are. So it was a huge help.
And BI seemed to, obviously they've been world renowned for doing that for advisors since really the get-go, being the people that, have fantastic call them anytime customer service folks that, they did this stuff extraordinarily well. Yeah. And so we thought it was a no-brainer to we tried to reinvent what an IMO, FMO could do for an advisor. They'd be able to allow us to do, or to still offer the things that traditionally IMOs would offer.
Keep that same consistency, keep a high level of service while we're figuring out the marketing, figuring out all the additional touches.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, what are we going to be doing? We're going to be doing all that, right?
Taking it in-house.
Aside from the trips will still be shared with Brokers International, so we're still going to be doing those alongside with them. But contracting, done here at Megastar now.
Yep.
New business processing.
All new business.
Done here at Megastar. And for those of you who don't know, Lindsay Clark will be heading up the new business department. That's something that we were talking about here, and I'm not sure if we've announced that to the team just yet or to the field advisors out there, but that is something that we'll be talking and touching on here in the future. And then obviously you are now in charge of our servicing team, right?
Yep.
And going to be kind of team leading that team over there. So let's talk about our new hires on the servicing side of things.
Absolutely.
We've got Mr. Connor Gibbs.
Yep.
We've got Miss Kirby Doolin.
Absolutely.
And kind of, sort of, we've got Miss Mandy Peterson.
Yep.
Mandy's going to be helping a little bit more on the content side of things, where we're going to be actually pumping out much more content than we're doing right now. Say on the Coffee for Closers front, we're going to put a bunch of other content out there that's like kind of day in the life stuff, where advisors really see what Megastar can do. We're going to showcase all the marketing side of things, the development side of things from the creative front, all the new updates, a lot of the things that we wanted to do for a long time here to promote what Megastar does for advisors.
Yep.
Mandy's going to be helping with that sort of thing, and she's sitting right behind the camera here, so she can't see her, but anyway. So Connor, let's talk with Connor. Connor was studied finance in college and has been in the force for a little while. This is a new industry to him, but he's been training with you over the last month or so.
Yeah.
A little bit more. And tell us a little bit about Connor.
Oh, phenomenal. Very intelligent guy. He's picked things up very quickly. He's been doing a lot on the federal side of things, helping out with the track report. So it will be a wonderful help there to be able to get track reports out even quicker than we have been. He'll be an excellent member of the team. Great sense of humor, great guy, good morals, good standards, good character. It'll be a pleasure. I think he'll be a big player with Megastar.
One of the big things we loved about Connor was that his follow-up.
Yeah.
It's quick.
Yeah.
He was, to the point, very detail-oriented, somebody that was just Johnny on the spot and incredibly intelligent, right? Not to say that Kirby isn't.
No, yeah.
Right?
We'll get to Kirby.
We'll get to Kirby here in a second, but Connor was, just very to the point kind of guy. And for those of you out there that are looking for somebody that's,
I think that's a big part of the industry, right? Like, we work with so many different carriers, and you're hiring new people and bringing them in, and it is kind of like a pocket industry, Yeah. So I know everybody's experienced it. You call the carrier, you get one information or one piece of information, you call them back in, get on with somebody else, and it's a different story. So Connor's definitely one of those types of guys where it's like, this is the facts of it. I've done my research. I've learned it. I've studied it. This is the way it is, and it's somebody you can trust for that.
Absolutely.
And that's a big key.
No BS. Is just straight to the point.
Yeah.
This is factual information. I love that about Connor. I'm glad to have him on the team. Now, Kirby on the other side. Kirby, same kind of thing. Very detail-oriented.
Yep.
Spunky, fresh. She's excited to be here. She's been working with you a lot as well. Tell us a little bit about Kirby's personality and what she's going to be able to do for.
So we've been doing a lot of business stuff with both in reference to carriers and products and product training. And Kirby seemed to pick up the illustrations really well, running the app packets, running that whole side of it, understanding the products, figuring out the intrinsic parts of how it works. As well, again, same as Connor, great sense of humor, good morals, really great parts of the team. But I think she'll be phenomenal when it comes to walking an advisor through how a new product that's just come out works, the pluses, minuses of it. Great associate there.
So not only have they been training with Rick Kohlmeyer, one of the best we have here at Megastar Advisors, but also been training with Team One over at Brokers, understanding a little bit more about how you guys out in the field and gals dealt with BI and kind of understanding exactly what the day-to-day looked like, making sure that they understand. We were just talking this before we went on camera. The UPS labels, right? Overnight labels, very important. Little thing, but it's very important. And these are all the things that BI are doing. Little things that can make a break in advisor's practice, the efficiency of a practice, right?
It adds up.
And so we've been sitting with BI, understanding which of you out in the field are using them for what, and really making sure that we know going into this year exactly how we're going to best suit it or best help you all. So expect a welcome call from Connor, from Kirby, to kind of break down, what they're going to be able to do for you, and just kind of get to know them. So,
it's a big change. Moving away from Brokers has been obviously something we've thought long and hard about. And what decision to make there and how it would look going forward. So naturally, we'd want to keep the same level of service and hopefully try our best to improve on it, make things better, make it a smoother process.
I think a lot of what we've been trying to do is kind of reinvent how the IMO, FMO space has been done traditionally, and we expect to do that same thing from the service perspective. We recognize that there are things that just don't need to be changed. Absolutely. But there are things that can be done a lot better, and we feel that will be done here with your team, right? And then also, we just felt like it was obviously a better choice for our advisors to just call in one place and understand that they can talk to Rick or talk to Kirby or Connor or Mandy or myself and get an answer on whatever it is that they had questions on.
There's nothing I hate more than having to say like, hey, here's another phone number to call that's outside of us, rather than being able to say, hey, you know, I've got Kirby that's available, or I've got Connor that's available to take this call right now.
You think about like the IMO FMO space to this point has been, you know, oh, you know, I could give you some consulting advice about this or that. And then the second it comes to action, it's let me get you on the phone with that radio guy, or let me get you on the phone with the mail house or the seminar dude. And, you know, they might write a check with your money to pay for that sort of thing, but they're not actually doing anything of action.
Yeah.
And so Megastar has taken on the branding side, taken on the marketing side, and it's finally time that we don't shove our advisors off to a third party, Brokers International, although they've been a fantastic partner and will continue to be a fantastic partner. But, you know, it's just time for our advisors to be able to call in and say, talk with Rick, talk about the marketing, get to the branding side of things, maybe walk through sales process stuff. And then finally, when it comes down to case design sort of thing, not have to wait on an illustration from somebody else or whatever, just get it done, you know? Yeah. And to that point, you've been able to do that forever. Obviously, you could run illustrations if you could do half the things that you're able to do at this point. But now you have the resources internally, the staff per se, or we should say, to actually get those things done in a timely manner. A
little bit quicker, a little bit more efficient.
We expect a 24-hour turnaround on everything. We expect for your apps to be processed quickly,
accurately,
get you updates nonstop. All of those things aren't changing, right? So what else do we need to know?
Covers a lot of it. It's a lot of good changes, a lot of really positive stuff for the new year. I think the whole aspect of just actually being able to have the advisor base fully kind of as a family here at Megastar and have that, you know, full opportunity to be the one, like you said, talking about illustrated, setting up the marketing campaign, talking through, you know, the federal employees, how the program works, how their benefits work, walking them through the reports, walking them through the illustrations, running through the illustrations, submitting the business, scrubbing the business, finishing it off, and then sending the check. To be able to do all that hand in hand with the advisor, I don't know, dude, I'm excited for it.
I think everybody is. Now, on another front, let's shift gears a tiny bit, content-wise. We fully expect to be having a new episode of Coffee for Closers. I want to thank everybody in the audience watching for being such a cheerleader and advocate for Coffee for Closers. I understand that it's been super helpful for a lot of folks out there, and it will continue to be so. We've been flooded with requests by advisors to either be on the show and contribute to it, or for us to do certain types of segments out there. It's tax season. We're going to pump out a bunch of stuff on taxes a little bit, you know, how advisors can incorporate the tax conversation into their sales process. We plan to do a whole lot of content. Coffee for Closers weekly. We intend to do day in the lifestyle stuff where we'll actually follow around myself as we go and look at different marketing programs, how things are set up, get everybody a better understanding of how those things work.
Doing something so differently like we do, of doing it all in-house rather than sending you off to another mail house or something like that. Like, a lot of people still don't get that concept of, like, until you come into the office and see, like, no, Alex is walking to Dylan or to Jeff and saying, look, we're going to do this, run this, put this ad on, we're going to touch this and twist this. So it'd be awesome to see that and show everybody else how it works.
We're going to be able to not only just show that we talk the talk this year, we're also going to show that we're walking the walk every single day. And then also just the complete build out of the creative suite over here. So we'll be building out the creative suite. We have completely finished. I know some of you, maybe not our newer advisors, but our more tenured advisors do understand that we've, over the last year, maybe year and a half, have built out an entire creative department that will now be a suite where advisors can come and get all of their creative branding work, marketing work done right here in-house at Megastar, where you could literally plug in, sit down at a conference table and have full stack developers, have graphic designers, social media experts, videographers, a studio to boot for you to use as you wish. And so we'll be kind of coordinating that. It'll be somebody that you talk to. You talk with Rick, obviously, if you want to get something like that scheduled. And we'll kind of, we'll obviously announce it on the show here when we're ready to do that. But that's the dream or the vision here for the creative department. And we've finally rounded out the hiring for that. And we're excited about that as well.
It'll be cool, man. Everything from business cards to full personal social media campaigns. I mean, the whole nine. It's going to be cool.
So aside from that, webinars, live events, all kinds of great content, a new producer resource center. So a lot of advisors have been dogging on us for years about the producer resource center. I know it's been a big frustration for you personally. This is a complete overhaul of the Producer Resource Center, where now you'll be able to log in and understand where everything is.
Things are first off, being able to navigate the site and find things.
Yeah, that's definitely been a major sticking point with a lot of folks. So that'll be done.
Yep.
And we're looking at like a mid-January launch for that. And then some new programs that I'm not going to tease right now. I've been sworn to secrecy on, but we will get those out as soon as possible. So tons more coffee for closers, all kinds of new sales tutorials. We'll be walking through the sales processes of some of the best and brightest advisors here at Megastar Advisors. Those kind of series, day in the life series, live webinars, a new show about marketing where we're actually going to be breaking down the different marketing programs out there, what works, what doesn't work, why they work, why they don't work. We're going to be breaking all those things down, what we do here at Megastar, why those things work, why they sometimes might not work. And we are just absolutely excited about it. So
got some cool hardware coming too with the new e-apps, new e-app portal, bunch of new kind of annuity tools, life tools, and then bunch more retirement plan software. So
it'll be easy to find right in the Producer Resource Center for any of you out there that are looking to maybe not have to call in every time you have a need and want to just go through the Producer Resource portal. So what else? Anything else for us?
It's going to be a big year.
It's going to be a big year. It's going to be even a bigger year for you guys out there. Thank you all for the business. Thank you all for being a part of the Megastar family. And we'll see you right here next time on Coffee for Closers.